and for you and me today. Who made God?
No one made God. God has always been alive and always will be alive. Nobody else is like that. He was alive before anything else because he made everything in the whole universe. Where is God?
Sometimes people say that God lives in heaven, but really, God is everywhere, which is sometimes called omnipresent. He is in the deepest cave. He is on the bottom of the ocean. He's farther away than we can see in space, and he is everywhere in between. There is nowhere, anywhere, ever that we could go where God is not already there. How powerful is God?
God is so powerful that he can do anything he wants to do. There is nothing you can imagine that is so big or so amazing that God could not do it. Sometimes we use the word omnipotent, which means all-powerful, to say this. But that doesn't mean God will do absolutely anything. There are some things God won't do. That's not because he isn't powerful enough. It's because they're bad things. For example, God will never lie. He has the power to lie, but he is perfectly good, so he never wants to lie. God's goodness keeps him from using his power to do bad things. But his power is so huge that when he wants to do something, he is always able to do it. You know, like create the entire universe just by speaking. How smart is God?
God is omniscient, which is another big word meaning that he knows everything there is to know. He knows the name of every animal. He knows the depths of the vastest galaxy. He knows the exact number and color and length of every single hair on your head. He knows it all because he made it all. God knows everything that has ever happened and all the things that will ever happen. And even though the world has been around for a long, long time, he knows everything about how it has changed and how it will change in the future. That's because he decided what the changes would be and when they would happen. There is no question you could ask God that he couldn't answer. What does God look like?
The Bible says that people were made in the image of God. That makes it sound like God might have eyes and ears and hands, just like people do. And sometimes the Bible does talk about how God sees or hears things. Because we need eyes and ears to see and hear, we think of God having eyes and ears too. But that's not really what being made in God's image means. It means we can think about things, make choices, make plans, and judge things like God can. And it means we can even think about our own thoughts and understand right from wrong, which is why we are responsible for the choices we make. God can do all these things without a body. How exactly? Well, we don't really know for sure. God is a spirit, and a spirit is invisible. Still, God knows that it is hard for us to understand, so he has appeared in different forms when he wanted to be seen. For example, God spoke to Moses for the first time in the form of a burning bush. But the most important way God made himself appear is when he took the form of a man. The Bible says that Jesus is the invisible God made visible. What is a miracle?
You've probably heard lots of things described as miracles, like an amazing play in a football game or when you finally clean your room. But a miracle isn't just when something unlikely happens. A miracle is when God acts in an unusual way to make something good happen that brings glory to himself. Sometimes we think of miracles as when God interrupts the way the world works. But that sounds like God is only sometimes involved in the world. The Bible says that God makes the world work the way it does and that he is always at work. But sometimes God works in a different way, a way that's uncommon to us, in order to display his power while doing something good. In the Bible, God uses his miracles to carry out his plans. Often he uses miracles to prove that prophets and apostles have the authority.
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción y podrás escucharlo completo sin coste gracias a la prueba de 30 días de Audible.